Hey everyone, have you ever wondered how some countries secretly pay hackers millions of dollars just to infiltrate other nations' networks? Sounds like something out of a spy movie, right? Well, it's real. In today's world, wars are no longer fought only with tanks, guns, or missiles. They're increasingly being fought with keyboards and lines of code. Did you know that some nations secretly pay hackers millions of dollars to infiltrate other countries' networks? Incredible, isn't it? Welcome to Bluehat Cybersec Academy. Today, we're diving into the hidden world of cyber warfare. We'll see how governments recruit, fund, and even outsource hackers, and we'll explore some jaw-dropping real-life examples that show how cyber attacks are reshaping international conflict. The rise of cyber warfare. Over the past 2 decades, cyber attacks have evolved from isolated incidents into full-scale strategic operations. Intelligence agencies and military units now treat cyber capabilities as a core component of national security. Countries deploy hackers for multiple objectives. They engage in espionage, stealing military, political, or corporate secrets. They conduct economic warfare, disrupting financial systems or stealing digital assets. They target infrastructure, like power grids, hospitals, or communication networks. And they even run influence campaigns to manipulate elections or spread disinformation. What makes cyber attacks especially appealing is that they can be conducted remotely, cheaply, and anonymously, things conventional warfare simply can't match. A single hacker, often working alone, can sometimes create more disruption than an entire battalion of soldiers. State-sponsored bug bounty programs. One of the most common ways governments recruit hackers is through bug bounty programs. These programs pay cybersecurity researchers or ethical hackers to find vulnerabilities in software systems. Essentially, a bug bounty is a legal contract. Hackers search for security flaws, report them to the organization, and receive financial rewards based on the severity of the vulnerability. Governments have increasingly adopted these programs to strengthen their defenses and identify vulnerabilities before enemies exploit them. For example, the Government Technology Agency in Singapore ran a program inviting hundreds of hackers to test government systems, rewarding them for identifying security weaknesses. Bug bounty programs can pay hundreds to tens of thousands of dollars per vulnerability, depending on how serious the flaw is. These initiatives allow governments to tap into a global network of hackers rather than relying solely on internal teams. But there's a darker side. Some countries offer underground bug bounties, where hackers are paid not to report vulnerabilities, but to exploit them against foreign targets. Outsourcing attacks to freelancers and hacker collectives. Not all government cyber operations are carried out by official intelligence agencies. In many cases, countries outsource attacks to freelance hackers or organized cyber groups. This strategy provides plausible deniability. If an operation is exposed, the government can claim the hackers were acting independently. Some intelligence agencies quietly recruit hackers from online forums, cybersecurity competitions, or universities, offering high salaries or contracts for specific operations. Private companies sometimes sell hacking tools and services directly to governments, almost like a digital version of a private military company. And certain countries encourage patriotic hacker networks where nationalist hackers launch attacks against foreign enemies during political conflicts. By using these decentralized systems, governments make cyber warfare cheaper, faster, and harder to trace, while still achieving strategic objectives. One of the most famous examples of state-sponsored hacking is honestly the cyber operations linked to the Lazarus Group, which is widely believed to be backed by North Korea. This group has been responsible for numerous global cyber attacks. They've targeted banks, companies, and even cryptocurrency platforms. For instance, they stole $620 million from the Ronin network, which is linked to the game Axie Infinity, $100 million from the Harmony Horizon Bridge, and, hundreds of millions more from other crypto exchanges around the world. Investigations suggest North Korean hackers have stolen billions of dollars in cryptocurrency, with some estimates exceeding $3 billion in total thefts. Experts believe much of this money funds North Korea's missile and nuclear programs. North Korea has, in effect, built a cyber army where hackers operate globally, infiltrating companies, launching phishing attacks, and laundering stolen funds through complex crypto networks, all while staying under the radar of law enforcement. Another way governments buy hackers is by purchasing cyber capabilities from private firms. Take NSO Group, which is based in Israel. They developed Pegasus, which is honestly one of the most advanced spyware tools in the world. Pegasus allows governments to break into smartphones remotely, access messages, calls, and files, and even activate microphones and cameras without the user ever knowing. The software is considered so powerful that its export must actually be approved by the Israeli government. Similar companies like Kandiru also develop spyware that's capable of infiltrating devices and remotely controlling them. Essentially, these private firms act as cyber mercenaries, selling governments tools that can turn any digital device into a surveillance weapon. Sometimes governments don't even need to pay. They just mobilize volunteer hackers instead. A notable example is the IT Army of Ukraine, which was formed during the Russia-Ukraine conflict. They recruited thousands of volunteers globally to launch cyber attacks against Russian infrastructure, including government websites and financial institutions. This approach, honestly, turns cyber warfare into a crowdsourced operation, allowing countries to rapidly scale their digital attack capabilities. So, why do countries put so much emphasis on hiring hackers instead of traditional military strategies? Well, cyber attacks have several advantages. They're low cost, sometimes far cheaper than deploying military forces. They offer plausible deniability. If something goes wrong, governments can just blame independent hackers or criminal groups. Plus, they have global reach, able to target systems anywhere in the world without physically crossing borders. And finally, a single breach can have enormous strategic impact, disrupting entire industries, stealing billions, or exposing sensitive government secrets. The reality is both fascinating and, honestly, a bit unsettling. Cyber warfare has become a central battlefield in global conflict. Intelligence agencies now compete not only for military power, but for digital dominance. As governments continue to recruit hackers, outsource cyber attacks, and develop sophisticated spyware, the line between crime, espionage, and warfare continues to blur. The next global conflict may not start with missiles. It may start with a single line of malicious code. From bug bounty programs to billion-dollar cyber thefts and private spyware companies, governments have built sophisticated systems to recruit and fund hackers. These digital operatives now play a critical role in national security strategies, operating in a hidden world where espionage, sabotage, and financial theft occur daily. And as technology continues to evolve, the demand for skilled hackers will only grow, making them some of the most valuable assets in modern geopolitical warfare. Now, here's a challenge for you. Can you name a country besides North Korea that has been accused of using state-sponsored hackers for cyber attacks? How much do you think a serious bug bounty for a national-level vulnerability could pay? Tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, or even millions? And which private spyware tool lets governments control smartphones remotely without the user knowing? Drop your answers in the comments. I'll be reading. If you found this video fascinating, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And check out our playlist, The Spy Who Hacked Me, for more stories about digital espionage, cyber warfare, and the hackers who make it all possible.